James and Jeffrey were inseparable at St. Jude's Senior High. To the outside world, they were just two boys sharing notes, but their homes were worlds apart. James lived in a single-room apartment where the scent of fried fish from Auntie Grace's stall clung to the curtains. Jeffrey lived in a fortress with gold-trimmed gates. Frederick, Jeffrey's father, was a man of cold smiles and expensive cologne. One afternoon, as James prepared to head home, Frederick stopped him. "James, you are a good influence on my son," Frederick said, sliding an envelope thick with cash into the boy's pocket. "Take this. Buy your mother something nice. Consider it a scholarship for being a loyal friend." James stumbled home, his heart racing. When he showed Auntie Grace the money, she danced. "God has seen our suffering, James. Your good character is finally paying off." But Joe, James's father, sat in the corner, his eyes narrowed. "Grace, stop. No one gives this kind of money for good behavior. James, stay away from that house. There is a shadow over that man's wealth." Against his father's wishes, James continued to visit. Every visit ended with more money. Joe grew weaker by the day, a mysterious illness wasting him away. The doctors at the clinic shook their heads. They needed a specialist, and specialists needed money they didn't have. "Go to them, James," Auntie Grace whispered by Joe's sickbed. "Your father is dying. Forget his pride. Go to Frederick." James went. Frederick handed over a stack of bills with a predatory glint in his eye. "Anything for family," he said. But the money didn't help. 2 days later, Joe breathed his last. His final words to James were a ragged whisper: "The goat does not feast with the leopard. Run." Months after the funeral, the grief-stricken James was almost a permanent fixture at Jeffrey's mansion. Frederick decided it was time. His evil lord demanded a soul to renew the covenant of the flowing wealth. Frederick prepared a vibrant mango smoothie, lacing it with a shimmering, gray powder that smelled of sulfur. "James, my boy," Frederick said, entering the lounge. "You look tired. Drink this. It'll give you strength." "Thank you, sir," James said, distracted. He was scrolling through old photos of his father on his phone, his eyes blurring with tears. He set the glass on the side table. Frederick nodded and retreated to his private shrine to begin the incantations. Moments later, Jeffrey wandered in. "Oh, mango. My favorite," Jeffrey mumbled, picking up the glass and draining it in 3 long gulps before James could even look up. The air in the room turned ice cold. "James, my stomach." Jeffrey gasped. His skin began to shimmer with iridescent scales. His bones cracked and lengthened with a sickening sound. James dropped his phone in horror. "Jeffrey? What's happening?" Within minutes, Jeffrey was gone. In his place coiled a massive, 20-foot python with eyes that still held a glimmer of Jeffrey's terror. The snake opened its jaws, but instead of a hiss, a torrent of crisp, new banknotes began to pour out. The money flooded the floor like a paper river. Frederick burst in, his ritual dagger raised. It is done. The sacrifice is. He stopped. His face turned a ghostly white. Geoffrey? No. No. My son. The python Geoffrey continued to vomit money, the room filling up to their knees. Frederick lunged toward James in a demonic rage. You. It was supposed to be you. I will kill you with my own hands. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew the heavy velvet curtains inward. A shimmering, translucent figure appeared between James and Frederick. It was Joe. He looked strong, his eyes burning with a celestial light. I warned you, Frederick, Joe's spirit boomed. You traded your blood for paper. Now drown in it. Joe grabbed James's arm. In a flash of white light, the room vanished. James found himself standing in his mother's small living room, shaking and covered in the scent of sulfur. Joe stood before them one last time. Father? James sobbed. James, listen to me, Joe said, his voice fading. The wealth of the wicked is a trap. I gave my life to shield you from that man's curse. Never look back. Joe turned to Auntie Grace, who was frozen in shock. Grace, look after our son. The money he brought before, burn it. All of it. With a final nod, Joe vanished. In the mansion, Frederick sat amidst a sea of blood-stained money, wailing as the python that used to be his son stared at him with empty, golden eyes. James and his mother stayed poor, but for the first time in years, the air in their home was clean. Auntie Grace burnt the money. Frederick got mad and was chased by the sun python always.